अस्माकं मध्ये आगवन्तं स्वामी शङ्करानन्दं प्रति मम प्रथमनमस्कारः। स्वामी शङ्करानन्द स्वामी मम संस्कृत आचार्यः इति परिचयकरणे मम अतीव सन्तोषः भवति। Can follow, right? Yes. यत्किञ्चित् संस्कृतम् अहं जानामि तत्सर्वं स्वामिनः कृपया एव। You can follow. If you don't follow, tell me. मम इदानीम् एका विज्ञापना स्वामिनं प्रति। यदि अद्य कक्षा भवता कर्तुं शक्यते अतीव सम्यक् भवति। अहमपि छात्राणां मध्ये स्थित्वा पुनः एकवारं शृणोमि। I was asking Swamiji if you can take the whole class today. I also sit with you and listen to Swamiji's class once again. Though I listened for 3 years, I also know that whatever I learned, whatever I have knowledge of Samskritamaya, that's all because of Swamiji. Not only knowledge, all the books, everything given by him. So I asked Swamiji to please say something, not only on Samskritam, on in general, Vedanta, Adhyatmika Jivanam, and whatever topic he likes. And Samskritam also, it's a strength also. And you can also give your feedback about your teacher, what you feel like. What all may be the feedback?
So what's your daily prayer? Start. Mahakaya Suryakoti Samapprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ayun also? Is it there partly? Yes. Can we hear?
Yes. Ayun, Relek, Ekong, Ayouch, Ayavaret, Lan, Nyamananam, Javai, Garadash, Javagadash, Kavachatatat, Chatato, Kapai, Shasasat, Hal, Maheshwaran Sutrani.
Very good.
Akuha
Visarjaniyaha. Very nice. That also has been done? Okay, then I will only listen to all you know. So let me say some. So I am very happy to be here in Lakshmi Narayana's class. Samskritam is a beautiful language. And it's very, very useful for us in this pursuit. It's not just the language in which the Upanishads are. The language itself has some quality which will make you appreciate the teaching of the Upanishads better. So Pujya Swamiji, who is my teacher and who I have learned everything from, just like he says, he learned from me. Whatever I have told, I am only a conduit. What came from Swamiji, I have passed down. So Pujya Swamiji is to say, in order to get jnanam, what do you need? What is adhikaritvam? Sadhana chatushtaya. What does sadhana chatushtaya give you? It makes an adhikari. Who is an adhikari? One who has got antahkarana shuddhi. Okay. How do you clean antahkarana? With tide or surf? How do you get antahkarana shuddhi? Karma yoga. Okay. So, antahkarana shuddhi means what? Antahkaranam means what? Antaha means what? Inside. Karanam means what? Instrument. Good. So, internal instrument, inner instrument is what? The mind. How do you clean the mind? What is cleaning the mind? When you have antahkarana shuddhi, what will it do for you? The whole pursuit we are into is what? Jnanam. Right? Because there are two kinds of pursuits. Either it is sadhyam. What is sadhyam? That which has to be gained in time with effort. And second one is what? Siddham. What is already an established fact. Siddham, established fact. Sadhyam, to be gained. So if it is sadhyam, the means for it is what? Karma. You have to do something. What is the means for siddham? If something is already siddham, how do you gain it? By knowing. Because if it is already siddham and you think you don't have it, it means you are not aware of what you are looking for. Right? So you are looking for your keychain and you are looking all over the place. It happens to be in your pocket. You didn't look carefully enough first. Where will you find it? You will never find it until somebody says, hey, it's right there. Correct? So now, for that siddha vastu, what do you need? You need jnanam. And jnanam means antahkarana should work well. Any jnanam means the mind should be working well. It should have the clarity for everything. To see what is right, what is wrong. Viveka. What is basic viveka? See, if you look at Tattvabodha, what does it say? Huh? Nitya anitya vastu. If you have a viveka, are you a jnani or ajnani? Then why teach Tattvabodha to you? If you have nitya anitya vastu viveka, why should I teach Tattvabodha to you? I should learn from you. Correct? Atma anatma vastu, if you know. It begins with purushartha viveka. No? Viveka is not nityam anityam directly. Even in purushartha, what is nitya, what is anitya, you need to understand. Correct? But to gain that viveka, even if you go further below, the basic viveka is to be able to distinguish two things. And to distinguish one thing from another, you need to have the ability to distinguish. It's given. To some extent, it is given. And then we have to hone it. We have to sharpen it. And that is where Samskrtam will make a very significant contribution. It's Puja Swamiji used to say that Samskrtam, especially when you get into, you start with Ayun. Do you know what Ayun means? Have we taught how it is used here? Ach, etc. has been talked about? They know that. Okay. So you see, the whole language, the whole Sanskrit language is so well ordered that Panini Maharshi could summarize or could enumerate the entire language, explain the entire language with just 4,000 sutras. Entire language, whether it's Veda or outside the Veda, every single word in the language Panini can explain with just 4,000 sutras. And how big is sutra? Sutra means very, very tiny. Okay? It is alpaksharam. Definition of sutra is alpaksharam. Very tiny. Then what? Asandigdham. But no confusion about its meaning. no conflicts. Saravat. What it holds is essential. Sara means the juice, the essence. It has nothing else. Saravat. Vishvato mukham. And one thing can be looked at in multiple ways. Vishvataha means in all directions. Sarvataha. Vishvato mukham. Astobhyam. No extra words, etc. Anavadyam. Perfect. No imperfection in it. That is called Sutram. Sutra vido viduhu. That is what people who know Sutra will call a Sutra. So this kind of sutras, 4,000 of them were compiled by Panini to cover what? Entire Vangmaya. So in order to do that, what did he need? There are rules at the level of letters, rules at the level of words, rules at the level of sentences. What Panini covers predominantly is Shabda Shastram, which is how every word is formed. Now, as I speak, you understand what I speak. How do you understand a sentence? You understand a sentence if you understand each word in the sentence and how it connects with other words in the sentence. Correct? Otherwise, you cannot make sense. So, what is the fundamental thing to understand before you understand a sentence? Every word. To make a word, what do you need? Letters. And how the letters combine, which is what you are doing, I believe. Right? Ach Sandhi is over? Huh? Done. Hal Sandhi is also done. Visarga Sandhi is done. Okay, good. So now Sandhi, what is Sandhi? Join. When do they join? When they are very close to each other. Right? Very close proximity. How much close? Less than half a matra. That's the proximity. It should be very close. And not just close in writing. Close in pronunciation. Right? Should you always make Sandhi or not? When should you make Sandhi? Okay? Correct? Correct? Then? Okay. It's optional. So that optionality is true when you don't pronounce them very, very close to each other. Generally. So in the Veda, you have something called Samhita Patha. Samhita means what? What you normally chant. Like Rudra is part of Samhita. You chant the Rudram, Purusha Suktam, they are all part of the Samhita. So in there you don't have a choice. You have to chant continuously. And when you chant continuously, you cannot break them and leave. You have to chant them continuously. There you need what? The rules of how letters combine. So the letters themselves, how to pronounce, is taught by Panini also. And it's called Shiksha. If you know some Taittiriya Upanishad, you will see later, he will start with Shiksham Vyaakhyasyamaha. Shiksha. In Veda it becomes Shiksha. Word is Shiksha. What is Shiksha? The art or the science of pronunciation. How do you pronounce a letter? So if I say, how do you pronounce Ka? So you learned all the varnas, right? A, I, E, U, U. What are these called? Varna is common to everything. What are they? Swara. Swara. Swara means vowel. What is the difference between Swara and Vyanjana? Vyanjana is consonant. What's the difference between the two? It can be pronounced independently. Correct. So it's called what? Swayam Rajate iti Swaraha. See, every word, I'm just trying to share with you how every word in Sanskrit talks to you. Swara, you don't understand. Swara means what? It's not like saying voice. I don't know if voice has etymology in English, but a lot of words in English, etymology is not clear. But here, when I say Swara, it means what? Swayam Rajate. Rajate means what? Shines. It shines by itself. is called swaraha. What shines by itself means what? Can be pronounced independently. You can say a, e, u. English also says vowels. What to say? A, E, I, O, U. Right? But we say what? We have length also. Matra, balam, length is also important. So we have one matra, two matras, or maximum three matras. Do you know anything which has three matras? Om. You can't say Om. If you say Om, see what's a matra? The length of time it takes. U, one matra. U, two matras. U, three matras. Ukala. The kala which you take to pronounce an U. This three matras, Om. You cannot say Om. How long is Om? Om. Om. Amount of time I take to say A is one matra. I should take what? Double that. But don't make it that will be what? 3, 4, 5, whatever you can count. So 1, 2, 3. Whole language has got how many matras generally? 1 or 2. 3 is an exception. It has its uses. 3 matras. So for example, say there will be U. That U can be used in the sense of a question. That longer matra will bring it a tone of questioning. It's a single letter, it's particle. It's called a nipata. Nipata will be translated in English as meaningless syllable. It's just like that. So for example, you see now in Sanskrit, suppose I say Ramascha Krishnascha Rama Krishnau. What is cha? And. Why cha is and? It has a meaning, but it's just a letter. You cannot say, how did you derive cha? I told you swara is payam rajate iti swaraha. What about cha? Can you give etymology? No. Cannot give. Cha is cha. What do? You load on it a meaning. What's the meaning? And. Does it only mean and? It can also mean also. It can also mean or. It has a lot of meanings. There's a book called Avyaya Kosha. The book called Avyaya Kosha. There's one more book called Nipatartha Darshanam. Only for such things. What all meanings are possible? See, our Shastras, our ancestors had a lot of leisure, inner leisure. Anything is made into a very thorough study. So each thing is studied very thoroughly. So we only know, when we say cha is and, we only know this much. But this much, rule of 70-30 or 80-20, 80% of the usage will be done with that. But for the remaining 20, you need to look into Nipatartha Nirnaya. You need to understand more. Right? So in each point you have to understand. So Shiksha will tell you how to pronounce. So I started with Swara. What is coming after that? Consonants, Vyanjanam. So what are your consonants? How do you chant? Ka, kha, ga, gha, na. Right? Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. So how are they ordered? By the place of pronunciation. Correct? So where does ka come from? Kanta. Gata. If you use English, gata. Kanta. Kanthe bhavaha. Kantyaha. That which occurs in this throat is called kantyam. Then what? Next is what? Ka, kha, ga, gha, na is over. Next is what? Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Where does that come from? Talu. What is talu? Upper palate. Okay. Then what is next? Murdha. What is that? Hard palate. Okay. Then what is next? Danta. What is that? Much easier. Then? Oshtha. Even easier. Lips. difference between talu and murdha? Is there a difference or no? Okay. So if you say cha, you say cha. Okay. See where there are two parts now to make a sound. Suppose you don't have a tongue. Suppose you don't have a tongue. What sounds can you produce? Some sounds you can produce, I agree. But can you say ka? Okay. Let me take one step back. Have you heard the word sprishta? Not yet. Okay. See, consonants means what? There is a contact. There is a contact. In swara, what is there? Open. Vivarta. You will hear these words later. Vivarta means open. Just open and produce sound, you will get vowels. For consonants, what do you need? There is a contact. Contact requires what? Two. Minimum two. There is no contact, is only one, okay? It requires two. So what are the two things involved in producing a consonant? One is your vocal apparatus, which is a fixed part, if I can call it that. Second one is what? A moving part. It moves. Right? Now, the tongue is not one microbial thing. The tongue has a length. It has surfaces. An upper surface, a lower surface, and a tip. Yeah? Which part you use to touch a fixed part makes the difference between sounds. Okay? So when you say cha, cha, say cha without saying the vowel. Start. If I hear you means you're using a vowel, okay? You can't cheat. If I hear a sound means you're using some. Only vowels have sounds, by the way, okay? Consonants just, it's like, curry. Rice you eat. Chapati you eat. Curry you can't eat and fill yourself up. Some people do, it's a different story. Okay, they are the exception. We are talking about the general rule here. So if I say, you're hungry, take rice. Are you happy? No, you need some. It is called what? Vyanjanam. Same word. Vyanjana is consonant. And Vyanjana in a context means your curry. Whatever you add to your base food. It's called Vyanjanam. Rice is your base food. Vowel is the base sound. Vyanjanam is what? An addition which gives it a flavor. Ma, mi, mu, me. Vowel is there everywhere. You're getting a Vyanjanam. So it has two things to touch. So now what should you know in Shiksha Shastram? Every letter you have to know which letter requires contact between what and what. How the contact should be made. How long the contact can be made. All these can be factors. And then there is the breath. Ka, kha, ga, kha. Right? What's the difference? Ka, kha. One is called alpa prana. Prana means what? Energy. Less energy, more energy. Mahaprana. So what do you get? Ka, kha. Straightforward. Then you have the place where a tongue, which part of the tongue is producing sound. And then you have this which part and which part it has done. So if you say cha, now say cha without the vowel. See where your tongue stops. Try to say cha. You will find the upper flat of the tongue is hitting the palate. Now say the murdhanya. Ta. Ta. Don't say ta. Try to say ta. No vowels. What is it touching? The tip of the tongue is touching what? Not the same part as cha. Observe where the flat of the tongue touches for cha and where the ta comes from. You will see it's a little behind. But but not exactly. And it's called a retroflex. Your tongue has to flick back. No? Da, 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 na. What about ra, la, ra, ra? Where do you get ra? Same. Has to go there. And Panini's Yuksha Sutra gives an option. You can say ra like that, or you can say ra by making it touch the base of the teeth. Dantamulo va. So I'm just sharing with you a very small aspect, but you can see how Sanskrit is so wonderfully organized. The sutras are only capturing what is. It is siddham. It is not sadhyam. It is siddham. We don't know, therefore you have Shiksha Sutra. How these sounds are produced. How the human vocal apparatus produces these sounds. This entire subject is what? Shiksha. Shiksha is Upanishad. Comes to my mind that way. Shiksha. That's where the Vedic study begins, by knowing how to pronounce each letter. Then you have words. And when you form words, you have two basic types of words. What are they? You would have heard those words. Verbs and nouns, okay? Alright, what are they called in Sanskrit? Kriya Pada and Nama. Okay, alright. Any other words you heard? You heard something called thing nowadays? Thing. Tingantam Subantam. That, see, my teacher who taught me Sanskrit is Swamini Brahma Prakashananda. She's in Nagpur. And she used to say, there are some 2 a.m. questions. Which means, she can come to your room at 2 a.m. and knock and ask you the answer. And you should tell the answer correctly. 2 a.m. So, Tinganta Subanta is what? 2 a.m. question, okay? If I ask you what are the 2 types of words, you should be able to tell like that. Anta means what? End. Thing, ending in thing, ending in sup. What is thing and sup? 3 years you will study, don't worry about it. Okay? There's plenty to learn. Thing is not just a thing. It's much more than that. Alright? But you have formed words. Okay, you form words. Then how do you put words together? What is the basis for putting words together? A sentence. A sentence is used to communicate something. So what is the basic? Suppose I want you to say a minimum sentence. What is a sentence? Okay, now I'm asking you a definition of sentence. May have done it, may not have done it. If it's not done, I will tell you.
Present meaning.
Present meaning. Okay. Any other better definition?
So it should have a verb, a subject.
Sorry. Relationship between subject and? Okay.
Same. Subject.
Okay. Anything else? We have a definition. What? Ekatik vakyam. Ekatik vakyam. Eka is what? One. Thing is what? A verb. A sentence is that which has one verb. Okay? So now I will give you a verb. What? Goes. What is Sanskrit? Gotcha. Very good. Now you can ask me any number of questions to understand what I have in mind to tell you. This is called vivaksha. Vaktum ichha. What do I want to tell you? I want to communicate something to you. I say goes. You can ask me anything. Now what will you ask me?
What goes?
Who goes? Okay. Who goes? Then
What goes?
what's the difference between who and what?
Where? Goes where?
Possible. There's a difference possible. In English there's a difference possible. I agree. Still just asking you, just to think, okay? Goes where? Okay, then? How? Then?
Why?
When? Then?
Why?
Why? Then? With whom? Good. Then? For what? Purpose. So, what are all these now? The basic is a sentence. What is a sentence? Basic sentence what? Ekatik vakyam. What is it? Gacchati. Gacchati. Goes. Now you have to increase, you have to add bells and whistles to the sentence. Kaha gacchati. Ramaha gacchati. Ramaha gacchati. is Ramaha now? The agent of the action of going. Rama gacchati. Okay, where does he go? Vanam gacchati. Why always Vanam? Let us say he goes to Devalayam. Okay, he goes to temple. Devalayam gacchati. Okay, then how does he go to temple? Vimanena. He is taking him to Tirupati from here, not local. Okay, you can go Vimanena, or if you go to Dakshinamurti, how will you go? Padena gacchati, right? Or padbhyam gacchati. Not one leg. Padena is wrong technically. I would say padbhyam gacchati. 2 legs are required, right? Then from where does he go? From here. From where does he go? Pathshala. This is Pathshala, right? Pathshala is what now? What is Panchami of Pathshala? Strilingova, Pulingova, Shala, Akaranta, Shala. So, what is Panchami? All your 3 months is getting revised, okay? Shalaya, right? So, Pathshalaya. Kaha gacchati? Rama gacchati. Where does he go to? Devalayam gacchati. Devalayam prati gacchati. Okay. Then, how? Katham gacchati? Padbhyam gacchati. Okay. Kada gacchati? When? Pratah kale gacchati. Okay. What else can you ask? See, I am saying, for what? For what? For puja. Puja. Okay? Pujartham is a different kind of word. I am not using 4th case. Right? You can use a word which will take 4th case. Like Aradhanaya. Bhagavat Aradhanaya gacchati. What did we do now? I started with Ekati. And then you fleshed out a sentence. The relation, so what are all these now? Where, whom, why, when, what. All these are called what? Karaka. Factors of action. Factors that relate you to action are called Karaka. Whole Vedanta is teaching you what? Karaka Upamardhanam. You know what is Upamardhanam? Mardhanam means you make atta, You press like this. When you make dough, atta means dough. You make bread. What do you do to the dough? If you have to do it with the hand, you knead it. Correct? That kneading is called Mardhanam. Upamardhanam means very well you mash it. So what does Vedanta do? First we teach you Sanskrit. We will tell you all Karakas. Then what will you teach you in Vedanta? Kartra Karaka is Brahman. Karma Karaka is Brahman. Karana Karaka is Brahman. Upadana is Brahman. Right? Sorry. Apadana is Brahman. Then Adhikarana is Brahman. What is Shashti? Connection between things. If everything is Brahman, what connection is there? Shashti bhi gaya. What does it leave you with? Brahmaiva. So whole Vedanta is about what? Whole Samskrtam is learning Karaka. Okay? Karaka means understand. Whole language is about sentences, meaningful sentence, which is all about how everything relates together. And what is the Vedanta going to do? Karaka Upamardhanam. Then why should I learn Sanskrit? Because that's the way. You have to understand what is taught to you in class, in Upanishad, in Bhashyam. For that you need all your Karakas together. You need to know. Language, see again, within grammar you have 2 aspects. Tinganta, Subanta is technical. Challenging, but won't give you language in itself. You need to understand meanings. That brings you to Karaka. Karaka relationship is what is language. First. are simple words and complex words. Cha, very simple. Gacchati, you will learn later. It will take 33 sutras also to create Gacchati, okay? Only 33. I'm just giving a number, okay? May not be exact. All I'm saying is you will need to understand a lot of rules to put pieces together. Rules are all purely superimposition. Fact is Gacchati, you know. What it means, you know. If you are curious how the building blocks can be put together, then what happens? You learn several pieces. This is what your Panini study will bring you. Several pieces, each will do a small job. And when you put them together in a right sequence, you get words. So, each word, as I said, generally, 90% of the words can be derived. So, a lot of time will be spent in deriving words, how to derive words. And in learning to derive words, you will understand how to understand other words. Because when you know the components, you need one dhatu artha, root meaning, and you know what kind of word it is. From there you can figure out meaning. There is no exhaustive dictionary of Sanskrit available, and neither can anyone write one. Because every word declines and every word can be used to make more words. You can all create words. See, you say Dakshinamurti Stotra, you know, Deham, Pranapi, Indriyanyapi Chalam, Buddhincha Shunyam Viduhu, etc. Right? Stribalanta Jadokumastu Ahamiti Bhrantya Vishambadinaha Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Maha Vyamoha Sammarine. What this? Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Maha Vyamoha Sammarine. One word. Not sentence. One word. Sambodhana. No. No. Fourth case. Right? Sammarine. Sammarine. But one word. What kind of word is this? It's a word which is made up of many words. Compounds. Samasa. And every compound can be made up of more compounds or more words. Then you have what is called Kridanta. You take a verbal base and you derive more words out of it. You have something called Namadhatu. You take a verbal base and create nouns out of it. So the variety is huge. And within words, now you say what? Bubuksha. What is Bubuksha? You don't know. What is Mumuksha? A desire for moksha is Mumuksha. Desire for eating is called Bubuksha. Okay? Lunchtime is approaching, you know. Bubuksha. Then Titiksha. What is Titiksha? Slightly different word. Okay? What is Bubhutsa? Desire to learn. What is Jigyasa? Desire to know. What is common between all these words? Bubuksha, Jigyasa. Meaning is desire. In the structure, what do you see? Jigamisha, desire to go. Vivaksha, desire to speak. What are they all ending in? Sa. When you see sa with some training, you can guess it is what is called as a desiderative word. Very simple. You see, sa ending, you can make a guess. An informed guess means you will be okay. Uninformed guess, you can go wrong. But I'm saying, the beauty of learning with Panini is that when you learn Mumuksha, you don't learn only Mumuksha, you learn the whole bunch of words. You pick one and you get a bunch. So every time you pull one thing, you get a whole bunch. That's where Panini gives you a multiplier effect. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's just sheer pleasure to look at Panini Sutras. If you start enjoying it that way, then Panini won't be a burden. Otherwise, Vyakarana se kya karana? What is the use of grammar? No waste of time. I came to study Vedanta. I didn't come to study grammar. Learn. Why? Because the Sanskrit language itself. See, if I say Rama killed Wali. Sentence is clear? Rama killed Wali. Now can I say, change the word order. Wali killed Rama. What happened to the meaning? Killed Rama Wali. What's the meaning? No meaning. In Sanskrit, you know what happens? I can say, what? Rama killed Wali, or killed Wali Rama, or Rama Wali killed. They will all mean what? You cannot make a mistake. Why? Every noun, blessed noun, does not come just as a noun, just as a basic noun. It comes telling its relationship to the verb. Every noun is telling its relationship to the verb. That is what karaka is. So now, when I say Ramaha, you know immediately Rama is the agent. Valim, that ma, Valim, what do you know immediately? He is the object. Now what? What do you do? Killed him, then you say the right word, that's all. But I'm saying each noun is independently telling its relationship to the verb. But the order can be jumbled. And in a shloka, it can be even further jumbled. Right? What do you need to understand verse now? What does Swamiji give you probably? Anvaya. Correct? What is Anvaya? Arrangement of the words. What should you be able to do after you study this course, Sanskrit? Make the Anvaya yourself. So you can see the value. And to do the Anvaya, you should understand each word and its relationship to the verb. This gives you Antakarana Shuddhi. And when you study Panini, it is so precise, you have to understand everything very precisely. There is no wishy-washy. There is no way of understanding it vaguely. If you understand Panini vaguely in the beginning, after a few days, you will be liking to be outside the class. Not trying to scare you, what I'm saying. In Vedanta, you begin day one by saying everything is Brahman. You end 3 years or 30 years saying everything is Brahman. Nothing changes, okay? Nothing changes. But in Vyakaranam, every day something changes. And if you don't hold on to what you have learned before, what's coming later will sound like French, not Sanskrit. Okay? But when you start learning, I'm saying, the precision of Panini will again give you that sharpness to the mind. This is what Puji Swami used to say. He said, we are not teaching Panini for the sake of Panini. Panini is brought into by Puji Swami into the course to give you an Antakarana Shuddhi, one. And secondly, whole day Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. Bore ho gaye. You need a break. A meaningful break. A meaningful break because it will help you understand what Brahman is all about. At the same time, it sharpens your mind. It gives you that clarity. Therefore, Samskritam is called Devabhasha. It is not ordinary. Very beautiful, very clean. And now there are modern researchers who say people who learn Sanskrit will have good cognitive abilities. In London, they are teaching Sanskrit to people now. So it has a lot of good things. And then, you are now doing what? Kaivalya Upanishad, right? So what is the Kaivalya Upanishad? What mantras are you on now? End already? Towards end only. Okay. Mayyeva sakalam jatam. Then what? Mayi sarvam pratishtitam. Then Mayi sarvam layam yati. Tad brahma dvayam asmyaham. Right? Verse before that is what? Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogancha yad bhaved Tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sadashivaha. Is there a similarity between the two verses? In hearing, chandas, right? Anashtu. They are metric verses. You can memorize verses. You try memorizing prose. 5 lines I will give you. Try. It won't sit. Verses you can memorize. And we have dozens of meters. Fortunately, here you will primarily find what? Anushtup, Trishtup. Of course, you are doing Vivek Chudamani. Swamiji is teaching you how to chant them. Are they all similar? All over. Correct? But meter. So Sanskrit is not only a wonderful language, it with chandas, with prosody, it gives you an ability to absorb and retain. You can retain what you learned with a verse. Today it may not seem like much, but you know what they say about Kaivalya Upanishad? Kaivalyameva alam. Alam means what? Enough. Alam means enough. If you want freedom, Kaivalyameva alam. Means if you study Kaivalya and understood fully, you don't need to study anymore. Similarly, we say, last Upanishad will be what? Mandukya. And Mandukya also, what do they say? The parampara, Mandukyameva alam. So interestingly, Swamiji has started with one alam and ended with another alam. But I'm saying, when does it become alam? First you understand, and then what do you do? What are the steps in a shastra when you study Vedanta? What is the basic means of knowing? Shravana. Then what is next? Manana. Then what is there? What is Nididhyasanam? What is Nididhyasanam? I can also say contemplation. Contemplation, I will sit like this. I am contemplating on the tip of my nose. Is it Nididhyasanam or not?
No.
What is Nididhyasanam? You revisit, you bear upon your mind what you have already understood. Why should you do that if you already understood? Suppose, now, what is this? A mic stand. Good. Do you keep saying, this is a mic stand, this is a mic stand, this is a mic stand? Do you do that? Why should you do it for Atma? Because orientation is what? I am a man. I am 56 years old. I weigh 55 kilos. You know, this is my mother, this is my brother. This is our orientation. How long does orientation last? It can last all your lifetime and several lifetimes. So, although you understand what you need to do, you need to reverse the orientation. That's after you understood, okay? But to do this Nididhyasanam, what do you need? You need to remember what you were taught. What were you taught? Kaivalya Upanishad. How many hours so far? 30. How much 30 hours can you remember? How much can you remember? Very little. But can you remember Trishuddhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogancha yad bhavet tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sadashivaha mayyeva sakalam jatam mayi sarvam pratishtitam mayi sarvam layam yati tad brahmadvayam asmyaham. Comes like this. Why? Meter. So Samskrtam, you know what's the meaning of Samskrtam? Samyakkritam. Sushtukritam. Very well done. The language is very well done. So all the way it's a blessing. If you don't know the language, suppose you don't study any Sanskrit, you still have chanting class, no? What do you learn then? To chant. Chanting, basic chanting. See, Purusha Sukta, what are you learning chanting? Purusha Sukta. Before that? Medha Suktam. Medha Suktam, very important. You know what Medha is about? What is Medha? Grantha, Grahana and Dharana. Both. Reading only Grahana, Dharana. Grantha, Grahana. Understanding. Bhagavan, prayer to Bhagavan is a blessing all the way. But within that we say, Medha Suktam will give you this Grantha Grahana Dharana Shakti. How do you want to remember? Because you have Medha, Devi, Jushamana, Aga, all these Swara variations of there. That's how you can remember. Try doing this. Medha, Devi, Jushamana, Aga. Try remembering it like that. It won't stay. Our tradition is what? Entire Veda is committed here. Fortunately here Lakshmi Narayan, or me, in Puja Swami Sampradaya, we don't insist on testing your Veda Shakti. If you go to some other ashrams in the north, traditional ashrams, do you know what they will tell you? Pehle rat lo. First you by heart Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi. Then I will teach you. If you don't by heart, you don't belong to the class. And what he taught yesterday, next day you have to repeat. Otherwise, you take your asanam outside. Don't keep the chair inside. It seems a little harsh, but what it does for you is you learn, and when you learn young, you keep it for life. Our tradition was, first 25 years, get all the books into your head. Brahmacharya ashram. Learn all Veda. Then what? 25 years education is over? No. Education continues till you live. Now, I don't need a book. Teacher also doesn't need a book. We both have everything in our heads. Dictionary is also in the head. This was our tradition. How is it enabled? Because of this Samskrtam. Because of the meter. Either by Swara variations or by, the Chandas prosody. So, you see now, you have to be alert with Sanskrit. Every letter needs to be pronounced with alertness. Shiksha. Every word tells its meaning to you. For that you need to understand Shabda Shastram, Vyakaranam. Then the Karakas are put together and give you the meaning of a sentence. That is Vakya Shastram. And when it all comes together, you are able to appreciate Bhashya. In the beginning you need help of a teacher, but one day you have to be able to stand on your own feet. Preferable. Because I see a lot of you are not old. Okay? You're pretty young. Which means that you have a long way to go. How are you going to spend time after 3 years? Question, no? If you want to stay with this knowledge, Puja Swami would say, you share. You share what you learned. To share what you need. You need the Shastra. What is the Shastra in? Samskrtam. But Samskrtam as brought out by a Acharya. It is not only Sanskrit. You cannot go and read Sanskrit and get Vedanta. Won't work. It is Guru Mukhat, Pramana. And the Pramana has to be unfolded by a Guru. But if he unfolds, you can understand everything in English. But as I said, whole Kaivalya, you take it from me, you will not remember more than 1 hour worth of material at the end of it. But if you remember 2 verses, it will have everything in it. Because by saying everything is Brahman, it's over. Vedanta is only Tattvamasi. That's all. Entire Vedanta is for one sentence. Ekavakyata. Aham Brahma Asmi. I am what? Brahman. What is Brahman? The cause of Jagat. Jagat Karanam Brahma Aham Asmi. How do you get to know this? Shravanat. Kena Shravanam? From Guru. Guru Mukhat. Kasya Shravanam? Shastrasya. Guru Vakyasya. With what attitude? Shraddha. I understood, I want to retain. How do you do that? Medha. Prayer. I need to understand all this. Mukha of Veda is called what? If Veda is a Purusha, What is its mukha? Vyakarana. This Vyakarana is its mouth. So you need Vyakarana is a Vedanga. What is Vedanga? A limb of the Veda. You know there are 6 Angas. There are 4 Vedas and Angas are what? Vyakaranam, Chandasam, Jyotish, right? Niruktam. Then? Shiksha is not one. Jyotisham is there. Mimamsa. Right? So all these give you what? Anga means what? The limbs which make the whole. See, this much is the Angi, the trunk. This is all Anga, attached to it. Without attachment, this Angi can't do much. So, Angas, Vyakarana is a Anga, Chandas is a Anga, Jyotisham is an Anga. All these are Angas, and every Anga enriches or makes the whole together. So, we should see this whole study as one thing. It is not that you are here to study Vyakaranam. It is not that you are here to study Sanskrit. You are not here to study chanting. You are not here to just study something. You are here for what? Mokshaya. Ultimately, that goal has to always be kept in view. You are here for one reason. You want to be free from what? From whatever you don't like. See, if it's only bondage, one may say, I am not bound, I am free enough. I can walk out of the Gurukulam tomorrow, I am not bound. Are you bound? To stay here, you may have to follow some rules. But to leave, do you have to follow any rules? No rules. Correct? So I am saying, what is it that you want freedom from? Dukkha nivritti. You don't want anything that bothers you. That's the goal. And that goal can only be known by what? By understanding, I really am not lacking. I am not lacking. How is that taught? Pramanena. Veda Pramanena. Vedanta Pramanena. And that Vedanta Pramana in its original is Samskrta Bhashayam. And Samskrta Bhasha will require what? Samskrta Jnanam. Samskrita Jnanam is what? Varna Jnanam. Pada Jnanam. Varna Jnanam, letters. Pada Jnanam, words. Then Vakya Jnanam. Then, when all this is together, what do you understand? Veda Vakyaha. Veda Vakya, there are 2 types. One is called Mahavakya, not Laukika. One is called Mahavakya. What is Mahavakya? What is the meaning of Mahavakya? That reveal the great meaning. What's the great meaning? You are all that is here. You are all that is here. And what are all the other sentences in Veda for then? If only that one Vakya is the meaning of whole Veda, what is everything else for? Avantara Vakyaha. To support this, to build the scaffolding, the infrastructure to get you to the meaning of Mahavakya. So all these Vakyas are to be understood by what? Vakya Shastram. Vakya Shastram, Pada Shastram. All this is part of Vyakarana. I try very hard, but it doesn't stick here. Therefore, prayer. Medha Suktam. Dakshinamurti Ashtakam. You have a lot of prayers. Chanting, prayer. And why do I, now time for what? Karakumardana. What will you go and chant there? Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnav Brahmanahutam. Do you know what it is all about? Brahmarpanam. Arpanam is what? That by which you offer food. Karana. One karaka is gone. Brahmahavihi. What is offered is Brahman. Second karaka gone. Then who offered it? Brahmana Hutam. I am Brahman who is putting it in. This I doer is gone. Then what? Brahmaivatena Gantavyam. By that person who sees everything as Brahman. Where will he go? Brahmaivatena Gantavyam. Why? Brahma Karma Samadhina. His whole vision is seeing Brahman everywhere. How do you get this now? One verse. If you understand this one verse, Brahmarpanam, you know Vedanta. Okay? So now you can go and chant Brahmarpanam happily. So it is a pleasure to have spent some time talking to all of you, sharing what little I us close with your closing prayer. I took all your time. Okay, 12:30. You're very fortunate. He's doing only 16-minute class. I have 7-10 minutes.
Thanks, Swamiji. Thanks a lot. I request students, if you want to say something, you can please come and say a few words. Anybody? Okay. Any feedback about my class?
That they will give without you.
I hope you all enjoyed the talk of Swamiji. So, whatever I learned, as I said before, it because of Swamiji. And if I do any mistake, that's purely my mistake. No, it's my mistake. I need to improve in many areas. Something I'm doing now, Samskrtam also, weekly once, trying to build up my language also. I hope they also enjoying that. Thank you, Swamiji. Thanks a lot for coming here.